Hello everyone, so today as you can tell we're not playing any games. Well, I'm not talking about any games, should I say. Today we are going to be talking about a book series that I absolutely love, and that is Eisenhorn by Dan Abnett. Now, this is in the Warhammer universe and it's part of the sci-fi genre, and basically it's about an inquisitor called Gregor Eisenhorn, and he is part of a group known as the Ordo Hereticus, who are basically in charge of hunting down cults, heretics, and basically any kind of human that is a threat to the Imperium. So this book combines quite a few things. It's not just sci-fi. It's got political intrigue, murder mystery. It's got a bit of romance, action for those that love action, all sort of packed into this one trilogy. And as you can see, this is the trilogy. The artwork for these books is amazing. So we're going to start off talking about the main star of the show, Eisenhorn. So in the very first book, Eisenhorn is 40. You do get bits of flashback and of his past and everything, when he was still obviously working his way up the ranks. And he is is very by the books at the beginning. He believes in following the Imperial Creed and not deviating from it in any way. And at the beginning of the book, him and his savant, known as Ubramos, basically have to go to a planet called Dormant, in which the weather during the winter times is so cold that they have to be put into these hibernation tombs, and then reawoken when it becomes spring. So he's there tracking down this heretic known as Iclone, and the guy's basically absolutely mental. He kills all of the people in one of the vaults where the hibernation tombs are kept, and he also kills one of Eisenhorn's hired guns, who is a woman. I can't remember what her name is now, but she dies because Eisenhorn's got two mercenaries, her and this guy called Harlan Nail, which is, I think, him. And Harlan Nail actually loved her, so he gets pretty torn up by the death as well. And Eisenhorn eventually kills this guy, but realises this guy is part of this bigger picture, and he gets involved in all the cult activities and everything. And I really don't want to spoil it too much, so I'm trying to say as little as possible. But eventually he meets this person in a brothel called, this is where obviously it's not just action, it's, you get to see the inner workings of the Imperium. Even if you don't know much about Warhammer, this book is still amazing, and obviously if there's some things that you don't understand, you can always read into them. To get context, you can find lore pretty much everywhere online. But like I said, you don't really need it. But it goes to this brothel, and it meets this person who is an untouchable, which basically means that she's invulnerable to psychic energy. She can't have her mind corrupted or anything, and because of this null, it's described as a null void. Because of this, it basically means that men and even women are repulsed to them, and Eisenhorn surprisingly takes her under his wing. He saves her. He makes her part of the crew. She basically then takes over from where Nail's partner left off, and them two become pretty close. And it's clear that they both love each other, but because he's an Inquisitor and she's an Untouchable, they'll never get to be together, which is really sad. And throughout the courses of these books, Eisenhorn gets accused of being a heretic. He gets severely injured multiple times. And the books also span out from his life, so obviously it starts off 45, and by the end is like 180, thanks to this like juvenile treatment, which basically keeps them looking the same age that they were when they got the treatment. So, like, his savant Uber Amos is like 180 in the first book. Is like this ancient man who has like augmetic insides and everything, which is kind of weird, but yeah. And Beckwin obviously has the treatment and stuff as well. And yeah, they're pulled into this big conspiracy, and they help basically Eisenhorn trying to get to the bottom of it, and there's murders and various things that happen in the book. And at some point in the books, this is the final cover, by the way, that's Beckwin on Malleus, and there's Beckwin and the really old Eisenhorn there. As you can see, that's what it looks like near the end. Bald with big plugs coming out the back of his head and stuff. But I've lost what I was saying now. Yeah. Basically, so can't believe this. So they end up embroiled in this huge conflict, this huge conspiracy. There's murders, and he eventually meets this demon called Cherubel, which is kind of like this strange entity that possesses people. And let's just say these two form kind of a strange relationship in a way, kind of like the Batman and the Joker. They sort of thrive off of each other. And Eisenhorn obviously strays far off the path of how he used to be by the books and everything. He falls from grace, basically, in a way. He kind of becomes an anti-hero. Someone that you really want to succeed, because basically without him, the Imperium will be in serious trouble. So they're the main events of this trilogy. But there's also the Magus. Now, the Magus is a collection of short stories, and they basically fill in the blanks of some of the events that happen in the main trilogy for about, I'd say, maybe a good half of the book. And then the rest of it, all of these little things build up to a certain point, and then this series basically finishes Eisenhorn's story in a way. It concludes Eisenhorn's story, but it leaves it open where if they wanted to do like a spin-off or whatever, they could. Now, there is a sort of spin-off called Ravenor, who is one of the characters that you will meet in the trilogy of books. Now, I haven't actually read the Ravenor books, because even though I liked him as a character, and even though I know that Eisenhorn was in it, I just wasn't really compelled to read them as much. Maybe I will at some point, but I wasn't really compelled to, because, I don't know, Eisenhorn was like my first introduction to this series. He was what got me into Warhammer, and I've actually recently started doing the models. I will make a video on them eventually. I've started collecting the Sisters of Battle, which are like these really cool nuns with guns sort of people. I hope to do a video if you're interested, but I just really wanted to gush about this series and really try and sell you on it, because, like I said, I didn't really know much about Warhammer at all going into this series, and obviously since listening to these books, because I actually originally had the Audible version by Dan Abnett, which is narrated by Toby Longworth, amazing narration. Since then, I've read them for myself, and also expanded into other Warhammer books, which I will talk about in another video. I'm sorry this video wasn't that good. I haven't scripted it. Like, I do enjoy doing scripts, but I don't know, sometimes for like impressions and stuff you don't really need to, because this isn't really a review of sorts. I will be doing a review maybe on the series eventually, but yeah, sorry it was a bit rambly and jumbly. This is the first time I've done a video like this, so any feedback, appreciation, likes, comments, all that good stuff. If you didn't like it, of course, dislike. Anything will really help me out and help me improve, guys. That's basically what I need. So hopefully I'm gonna do a video about some of my favourite Warhammer books that I've personally read, because I've listened to quite a few of the Horus Heresy and a few like standalone ones, but the ones that I've read, there's some amazing ones, so I'll do a video on them soon, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye everyone.